Hello, Matthew. Tag a few people, Matthew, please. Rafaela, hello. Tanna Gretcher, hello Tan. St. Bernard man. With you in a second. Francesco Zaccariello, hello. I am working late, Tanya. You're absolutely right. Needs be as needs must, amigo. Hello, Francesco. Hello, Ida Boo House as well. Hello, Ida. Yeah, he's coming soon, Louise. Don't you worry. Hiya, Kate. Somebody said to me last night I should have a theme tune. It's the closest I got. This says sleep tight. I should be at home. What time is it? It is 9:10. Thank you for joining. I've got a few things to show you. I have launched a competition tonight on my page. I've got the prize here as well in a second. Hello, Sonia Marathi in Italy. I just need to share this to the Our Dogs page. I hope you, what day is it today? Thursday. This week's Our Dogs should have been arriving with people today. We got this week's paper out despite the dreaded, the V word. It's not Vincent either, the V word. And next week's issue, the team are working on it already. I'd like to thank everybody who's offered to do new articles. We've got some new articles coming on judging and anatomy and construction. Christopher Harbing's doing a big article on Molosser breeds for us. And Jeffrey Davis is doing some historical stuff. I've been diving into the archives again, and if Tom Mather, I must tag Tom Mather because he was very quick last night jumping on some of my historical stuff as well. Right, so hello Maddie and Kate and Louise and Tan and everybody. Feel free to share this. I won't be banging on too long. The first thing I wanted to start with was actually just mentioning shows, because when we came back from Crufts, we had all the schedules. Sorry, just lowering the volume. We had all the schedules that we had left over from Crufts, and it's so disappointing for everybody, organisers, exhibitors. You know, we had SKC, that's gone by the wayside in May. Bath. I've been speaking to Bill Brown-Cole tonight. Got something to show you about Bill Brown-Cole in a second. So unfortunately Bath has gone. Southern Counties was another one that went by the wayside. Big shame. That takes us into June. Obviously Birmingham National, that had the big VE Day celebrations, that's gone. And I believe, Border Union was trying to survive. My inside information suggests that might not be the case, but I'm waiting to get that confirmed. Which then pushes us on to possibly the first show that we would have post the V word. which will be Windsor with a new layout on the showground. Now, I've been speaking to Irene Terry tonight. If the show does go ahead, currently the entries close on May the 13th. So obviously everybody's going to be hedging their bets, but do watch out for an extension or a change, probably more of a better word, a change to the entries for Windsor. And if the show does go ahead, that could very well be the first show post the lockdown that we're all in. So expect a rush and a bumper entry for Windsor, and why not? It's a great show. Following that as well, down in the West Country, I've been speaking again to Mark Elliott tonight for Paynton's show, because that one's due round about August the 1st, 2nd and 3rd. So watch out for all of those. If they do come back on, guys, let's give them every support we can. Our Dogs needs the support as well. All the trade stand holders need support. Let's try and stick together and come out of this goddamn thing at the other end. Couple of mentions. Books. I talked about some books last night. And to remind everybody about Lucy's Law, which is the great new paperback that Mark Abrams brought out at Crufts, launched on the Our Dog stand. And that was all about beating puppy farming and things. People have said it's a great read. They've enjoyed it. So that was just a little reminder about that. I've also got some back issue books here to have a little look at. Hello, Ben Ashcroft. Ben, please share this anywhere you like, as usual. Aileen Cool and Terry Cousins, hello. Graham Hill, sorry you couldn't go to that show in Belgium recently, Graham. Susie Roffey and Stephen Cox. Stephen Cox, probably a Liverpool supporter, Mr. Stephen Cox. Sorry about that, it's not going too well this time now. Tina says, how are you going to cope being home for so long? You're not the first one to actually say that to me. But I do like gardening, and I actually play in a folk band. A lot of people know that, but they do now. So I could do other stuff. Janet Gunn's watching from Spain. Buenas tardes, buenas noches. Jordan Merritt, hello again. Irene Cavalli. Libby in the Czech Republic. Another lockdown area by the sound of it. Pam Blay and Anna Stromberg. Hello, Anna in the States. I think it's in the States. And Pam Blay, please be careful what your husband picks up in the supermarket, because I've seen the photograph and it ain't pretty. If anybody wants to check, go and look at Michael Blay's Facebook photos. Saying nothing else. Heather Vine, Miss Vine, good evening. Cesar Alonso Martinez, buenas noches. Sandra White, photographer, is happy to do photos for you. Special price. Julia Lilly, Lenka in the Czech Republic. Janet Gunn's just confirmed board union has been cancelled. I feel like I'm reading the news here. Mandy Thompson, Lynn McEwen, also in Spain. Sam Louise. She just says, well done for plodding on. Who's plodding? I'm staggering, for God's sake. Lynn McEwen, hola, buenas noches, Espanol. Josh Henderson. Josh, thank you very much for doing all that. Lots of our photos in the collecting ring at Crufts. If anybody wants to buy photos from Josh or Alan Seymour or Paul Scanlon, don't hesitate to advertise it or link it through to the iDog site. Judy Jacob, staying home beats the Manchester Airport experience. Not the first one to say that, Judy. Martin Ford, musician, good evening. Julian Barney, hello. Chris Briggs. Amanda Carter, hiya. Jordan Merritt. I'll take that as a compliment, Jordan. And Maria Louise Clark. Andy Scorfield, good evening, Andy. Charles Allen, I don't know whether Charles Allen's watching, because last night I gave him a plug about his prize cards. He's got frames for prize cards, lots of nice coloured ones. And I actually had last year's 2019 Crufts prize cards. We don't want those, right? You want these 2020s. 2020 first, Jordan Merritt. I think you guys got one in Peaks, Dog CC. Second in blue. You all know these colours. Third in yellow. Green was reserve. And pink was very highly commended. Why do I mention pink? Because last night a lady called Heidi, and I don't know whether she's actually watching this. Heidi, I'll tag her so she gets it. Brought to me, she was in Russia. We did a show in Russia together, and it was one of those lost bag situations that seemed to plague me around the world. And various people are offering me items of clothing, some more desirable than others, others less desirable, some quite amusing. Heidi's was pink socks. She wanted to lend me some pink socks. I did refuse on the night, but she did arrive. She arrived at the stand at Crufts with pink socks. So Heidi, if you're watching, thank you for the pink socks. And as somebody pointed out, they've even got a moustache on, although the moustache is slightly darker than the one I'm sporting at the moment. Anyway, and Charles and price cards, there we go. Somebody else brought me this. This was from Russia. It looks a little bit like Thunderbirds, you know, the cap. And I don't think it won't fit. No comments about big heads. But thank you anyway for the people who brought me that hat from Russia. There were some other gifts as well from the Dutchy sisters in Holland. We got Big Edam cheese, and we also got those caramel waffle things. So thanks very much for those. Also to mention on books, I did mention about Eye for a Dog and others. The brilliant, the great Frank Sabella from the States. We've got Frank's book on handling. It's the original book, so it was one I didn't mention last night. I did mention Dogs in Motion, that one, which has a DVD, but I didn't mention this one, which is written by Eugene Yerusalemsky, him on the back, who was the president and the founder of the Russian Kennel Federation in Russia. And Eugene did all the drawings in the book. It's a detailed book. It's certainly worth having a look at if you're interested in movement, construction, etc., etc. Eugene did all the drawings, he wrote the book, and he paid for it, so it's a private circulation book. You can get it from Our Dogs. I'm going to show you some back issue things as well. I've got a book and the 1951 issue of Our Dogs, but also just to remind you about the competition that's currently running on my page and the Our Dogs page. It's for the wonderful book. I don't think we ever sold one copy of this book. In fact, probably the only copy is still here in the office, and it's this one. 100 uses for a poo bag, the useful, the ingenious, and the downright hilarious. So it says on the book, or the back of it. A marvellous little present for anyone who knows life, you know, with a dog or lives with a dog. So that is going for free, with a whole pile of poo bags here as well. So the person who puts the most inventive use for a poo bag either on my page or the Our Dogs page, it's on the Facebook page. I'm not going to let you go bored during the lockdown period. I might even throw a second prize in, which was the book I showed you last night, Little Kids and the Big Dogs. Now, if you just don't mind if I just get up and pick the camera up, I just want to bring you around this side so you can see my bar book. So talk amongst yourselves for a second. I'll just show you these, and I do need to get home. Yes, I do have a life. Corporal Jones. Nice one, Jim Coates. Corporal Jones. They don't like it up, Mr. Mannering. They don't like it up. We're all doomed. We're all doomed. What else are you saying about my hat? Smart socks, Julia Liddy. Correct. Jordan Merritt, who misses the shows? Your boss does. Hello, Anne-Marie Claire. Look at that, two Anne-Maries. Is that a coincidence? Phil Thurwell. Hello again, Phil. Mira Palova in Sale in Cheshire. Heidi, you got the socks. Mark Elliott. Hello again, Mark. Mark Elliott, that would be Mark Elliott from Paynton. Don't forget to enter the show. Mark Elliott, there you go. All down to Mark's place. Okay, and Christina Bailey. Hello, Christina. Old English Sheepdog Judge at Crufts, Klaus and Gerald. Right, okay. So I picked one of the books from the collection we have here. I actually thought it was about Our Dogs and their management, so it could have been about me. Hello, Shelley in Australia. Jill Breen. Anne-Marie wants to see the socks. Where did I put them? They're out. Hang on. There's the sock. I'll leave the socks there. Okay, pink socks. Right, where was I? Right, About Our Dogs, Their Breeds and Management, by Mr. A. Croxton Smith, OBE, and intro by Lorna Countess Howe. Now, the thing is, I'm testing people here because this is a sort of an era Can't remember when this book was written. 1931. But it's mentioning people there like Lorna Countess Howe, who was famous in what breed? I'm testing you. I know what breed it is. And also this particular book has also got some nice plates in here by Ward Binks. Anybody tell us anything about Ward Binks? Here's the Harlequin Danes. I can tell you something about Ward Binks. You know, anybody know where he was born? He was born in Bolton. Jim Coates has got it correct. Labradors, Julian Barney, bang on. And Julian Barney, here's another one for you. What was the connection between Lorna Countess Howe and Bath Canine Society? Hello, Kathy Gorman. Right, back to Ward Binks. The guy was actually born in Bolton, 20 minutes from where I am at the moment. Some nice plates. Here's the Airedale. Were you born in 1931? Very close, Lynn McEwen. Very close, cheeky. Hi, Sophie Wilding. Yeah, so Ward Binks, he did all these canine prints. He actually didn't start doing dog portraits. He actually started doing miniatures. And in actual fact, I think big winner was Black Bob of Banchory. Don't get that one. Anyway, back to Ward Binks. He started doing miniatures and his eyes suffered. His actual eyes suffered, so he stopped doing miniatures and he moved on to dogs. Hence these pictures. And in actual fact, he did a lot of painting for the royal family in the UK, but for some reason, which I'd have to research, he went to India and did a lot of pictures there for people as well. Bill Moores, if Bill's watching this, Bill's got a big book collection, Kathy Gorman, so he would know a lot of those. I'm also interested, when you look at some of the breeds, bearing in mind this was from 1931, can anybody tell me what breed that is? Whoops, don't want to give you any clues. It's called Bal McNeil Jock. Very limited so far in Jack Chins, Jordan, but I might find some. And these are Lhasa Apsos. This is a bearded collie, would you believe? Not very well groomed, I don't think, at this stage. And Tibetan, yes, beardy, well done. Tibetan Terrier. You can see the shape, but probably not the grooming you'll get now. No, sorry, Janet Gunn. Christina's right. Bearded collie. All right, how about this one? Anybody guess what that breed is? Photos by Thomas Fall. Okay. Tibetan Spaniel. And moving swiftly on, we've seen the Bloodhound. Oh yeah, wanted to show you that, a Brindle Greyhound as well. These are the Ward Binks prints. Heidi's got the Tibetan Spaniel right. Hello Fiona Mycroft, please share anywhere. And then into the gun dogs. Bit of a leggy looking golden retriever there. And a curly coat. These are from 1931, these particular prints. And there we have a Clumber. And into Dachshunds. Hello Ben Hanny. Good evening Ben. Hi Fiona. Keep up the good work. So as I say, that was here's some more of the Ward Binks ones. Wire-haired Fox Terriers, which I'm going to mention in a second for another reason. If anybody knows Bill Brown Cole, tag Bill Brown Cole. I've got something coming up shortly. And finally in these prints, the Cocker Spaniel as well. Great prints. So I've got quite a few old books here. Not as many as I'd like because we just are short of space. Great Dane. And then I'll just go back to the pink socks for a second, just in case anybody missed them. If anybody's now just tuned in, they're thinking, what the heck is a pair of pink socks doing on Vince's desk? But never mind. Right, Our Dogs issue. January the 5th, 1951. I flicked open this and that caught my eye. It had to be the one and only Bill Brown Cole, which is the prefix actually of Mr. Bill Brown Cole, but that of course is the current chairman of Bath's father. In actual fact, whilst I was on that particular page, and some people might pick up some of these prefixes as well, that is a really famous one in Fox Terriers. Hi, Ali Smith. Ali Smith, remember this? This was your office, Ali Smith. Remember that before you self-isolated. So, new Madeley Fox Terriers, if anybody can tell us about those. Yes, Heidi, what did happen in Russia has now just been exposed. And here's another one, famous prefix for anybody in Dobermans. That's the Kernos, Fred and Julia, I think, if I remember rightly. And there was another one over here. Great Danes, that's one for you, Heather Vine. Julian Barney has hit the nail on the head. Because there it is, Linda Beak. Maiden. There we go. Bill, go home. Bill Moores. Listen, there's nobody here in the office, Bill. They've all self-isolated. Andy Schofield's got it right as well. So, who did? Tell me about this one as well. Julian's got that one as well. Nice one, Julian. Bill Siggers, the famous Bill Siggers. Now, Jordan Merritt, if you're still watching, I've got something for you here. This is a story from 1951 as the breed was getting to Japanese chins. And the contributor there is Eileen Crawford. And everybody is getting ready for Crufts, which is on February the 9th. Used to be in February. Bill, I think, Bill Moores, you could remind me, the first Crufts we ever did were at Olympia, and I'm going to come to that shortly. Julian, Bill Siggers it is, not Singers, Linda Buckley in Australia. Hello, Anita Skinner. I'm just flipping through a few of these things that I just found earlier on. Another one for Tom Mather. I bet you don't know this company, Tom Mather. Entwistle's Dog Food. Entwistle's all-in-one kennel meal. Keep your dogs in tip-top condition. And we have a Boston Terrier. Advertising. Good morning, Linda. 1951. I thought you had not a day over 50. Ben Haney. The Daily Show. The Daily Show. Jordan, now I know that you want something on Jap Chins. I can look out for them. Because, you know, what we've got in here is absolutely... it's a treasure trove. I've actually just whizzed round. I've got all these... That's for you, that's for Julian there. That's for all the dog press. But right behind me here, if I can find my way through, look. I've got them all. I've got everything back to 1895. And I've got books all over the flipping place. It's not the tidiest of offices. But if you go around my office, you see books. We've got photos. We've got more books. We've got all sorts of things. Anyway, back to this one there. Right, I pulled this one. This was classic. So, Our Dogs, 1951. Bill Moores was probably still working for the company at that stage. Managing director is Dennis Marples. Okay, remember that name. Dennis Marples. And that was when Our Dogs were at 5 Oxford Road Station Approach. You see that telephone number there, 2660. Any of the older people here will remember Our Dogs. We were 0161 236 2660, and we had that telephone number way back. I find it's actually on my wall. Bearing in mind the magazine you just saw there was 1951. The telephone number 2660, and if you go all the way back to this letter here from 1897. There's the telephone number again, 2660. We actually had that number. Oh, Bill Moores, you could tell me many, many years. Many years. Anyway, back to this. Very interested in this because it's advertised Manchester Dog Show. There you go, Bill. This is like a blast from the past for you. and Janet Gunn. Everybody remembers 5 Oxford Road Station Approach. So Manchester was on March the 14th and 15th. It's the Northern Classic as it was, but for some reason, you tell me why. Why is it called the Safest Dog Show? Is it because Paul Harding wasn't there then? The Safest Dog Show, work that one out. But the secretary, and again Bill will know this, you're getting a lot of this, Bill, tonight. There he is, where's he gone? Mr. John Owen. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, but when did John Owen finish at Manchester Championship show? John Owen, he was then superseded by Dick Keenan, I think, for a while. And look, even in Altrincham, which is near to where I live, they had an actual championship show. Amazing. Make it a date in Eccles. You have to make a date in Eccles. Right, Julian, you mean John Owen had cockers? I guess you would know that really well because of your connection in the breed, and Denise as well, of course. Now, here's another one. Now, this is getting now closer to Crufts, where Leo Wilson had just written about some of the handling at Crufts. And before I actually go, I've got something coming up, and I couldn't miss this one either, the Indomitable. And Bill Moore's, again, you probably sub-edited some of her stuff. Jean Hopwood, who was based up here in Cheshire. There we go. All about the Kennel Club's publicity campaign at Crufts, which is very similar nowadays as well. So actually then to get to that Crufts of that year, I've got these flipping pink socks keep appearing. Get out of there, for God's sake. Right, so the Crufts winners on this page had a chance, but the Welsh led them home. So here's the Welsh Terrier that won in 1951. I bet nobody knows the name of that dog without looking at... so I'm just laughing at... Kathy knew her well, and Andy Scuffle, it is not Hyacinth Bouquet. So anyway, name that dog. And here's the Our Dog stand that year. And no, I'm not on it, 1951, and neither is Bill. But Crufts that year was here. That was at Olympia. There you go. And as Bill well knows, again, Olympia, right opposite that was the Hand and Flower pub. Hand and Flower, and all the journalists would gather. Julian Barney, this could be libelous. It was actually a Welsh Terrier called Twin Star Dima Fee, with her owner Captain Thomas. So you could be very correct there, it's Welsh. And over here we have some of the best of breeds. The Westie, we've got an Airedale in there, Fox Terrier, Borzoi. There we go. And some of the famous characters were actually named previously. So I mentioned Dennis Marples. There's Dennis. And he's alongside Mr. H.S. Lloyd. Come back, H.S. Lloyd. Julian, you're going to tell me that. Did I mention Dakin? Don't think I did. Anyway. Hello, Karen Jones. So here's some more of the celebrities at the time. Fitch Dalgleish, that's a famous name. Claude Binney. Major Jocelyn Lucas is in there. Now, lots of these names. We believe you now, Julian. You are more the expert than me about that dog. Hello, Jenny Ward. And also over here, I think we have the author of the book. I was just looking at the book by Mr. A. Croxton Smith. And one of these guys is, if I work him out, Mr. Croxton Smith and Mrs. Barber judge Supreme Best in Show. So he's probably, I think, might be him. And if Christina Bailey's still watching, how about that for an Old English? So there we have it. Yes, Old English, you got it. You got it, Lynn McEwen. So, that's your history lesson for tonight. Just put you back on the stand over here. Whoops. And then it's, can I go home now? Frank Warner Hill is there too. Bill, good spot, Bill. Bill actually would know a lot more of these than me because he's a lot older than me. And he was here when I joined sometime in the 70s. So Bill probably joined the late 60s, I'm guessing. Okay. Thanks very much for watching. So a load of nonsense, although these are great, these old books. I mean, Bill Moore's actually, I've talked a lot about Bill. Bill was a past editor of Our Dogs, and he's now at Floss Data with Kathy. Bill's got a great collection of the Our Dogs books that were actually published by Our Dogs. We had a series of them at the time. I do need to go home. It's even later than it was last night. My tea will be burnt or in the dog, as usual. Definitely time for a pint. If there's anything you want me to research, please give me a shout. Please feel free to share this any way you like. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a bit of a light relief in this weird time. I woke up this morning, I thought I'm in a movie set. We came in here, there's about four people have been coming in to hold the fort in the office. The Our Dogs team doing a great job. Ali Smith, they're all coordinated on a WhatsApp group. We've got everybody's emails. We've taken Macs home, taken phones home. If you do need to contact any of the Our Dogs team for adverts, subs, editorial, just use the emails. That's the best way until the phones settle down. Please do continue subscribing to us and supporting the paper. We want to come out the other end of all of this, as everybody else does. You know, we want to see you all here, at Windsor, at Paignton, and we want good entries, and we want the whole flipping thing to get back on its feet. So there you go, from the VBC, the Vince Broadcasting Corporation. I have to be careful the way you say that. It's good night, 20 to 10. Hogan needs to get home. I'll have a quick name check, see who else has been looking. Just put the glasses on. Love to Joe from Bill Moore. Thank you very much. Good luck, Lynn McEwen. Peak and Ease. Yes, I'll find those for Elizabeth Montgomery. Julian, thanks very much for the history. Really appreciate it. Linda Buckley found it interesting. And Janet Gunn, thanks for the memories. Kate Hodgkinson Rutherford, thank you. Same time tomorrow. No, it's Friday night. I want to go home early. Kathy Gorman, Tony Eiley, will you please show me how to operate a drone? Andy, thank you, Andy. Enjoyable. Frank Warnill's there as well, etc., etc. And Laura Pergler, you've just joined. Andy Scorefield's email subs today. They were super quick replying. We can survive. Gloria Gaynor, we shall survive. Cheers, guys. Good night. And let's not all worry about this flipping crisis. Our Dogs, been going 125 years. Just finished at Crufts. And that was especially for Lee Cox, Julian Barney and Bill Brown-Cole. We're going to have to see you in 2021. Which means I've got to go and look at cancelling my hotel for Bath. Oh dear.